Today I am sharing about the pre-vocation highs and lows, the life before the healing path. So before I committed to the healing journey, I lived two parallel lives. On the surface, there were the worldly highs, elite education, global travel, scholarships, and internships in international finance. But beneath that, there was hidden lows, traumas, addictions, anxiety, mental health struggles, and a growing sense that none of my external achievements could fill that emptiness I was feeling inside. This video shares both sides of that landscape, the polished surface and the shadows beneath, before everything shifted and I stepped fully into the healing path. So for simplistic terms, I've broken down the journey into before the commitment to the healing journey, which was before the age of 21, and then after the commitment to the healing journey, which was after the age of 21. And in the previous video, you'll remember that I had those two spiritual experiences in childhood and as a teenager, which kind of set the tone for everything which has unfolded since. But until my early 20s, I lived a pretty conventional life and achieved various worldly accomplishments and milestones. From a young age, I was blessed to travel around 4 continents with my family because my mom was a travel journalist working in family travel. When I was in primary school, I was put up a year as I was a very naughty kid, always finishing my work early and then getting in trouble. I began playing rugby as I approached 12 or 13 years old, which led to winning a full sports scholarship to an elite English school called Epsom College in Surrey, just outside of London. I went on to captain the first 15 rugby team there, which within those circles is quite an achievement. Whilst at Epsom College, I gained various international work experience in finance through their renowned Old Epsonian network. I visited Hong Kong and worked on the trading floor at Nomura Bank for 2 weeks, which extended to London at Nomura Bank for another 2 weeks. I interned for a week at Rathbones Investment House in London, Rabobank PLC in London, and I was one of 2 students at Epsom College to be mentored by the vice president of Deutsche Bank for 6 months at their offices in the city of London. Then I got the opportunity to visit the Caribbean island of St. Kitts and Nevis and spent 2 weeks working for an offshore trust fund called Hamilton Trust, who specialized in citizenship via investment scheme, which basically catered for super wealthy people who wanted to buy an English passport by investing in the English colony there. I went to summer school at Bocconi University, Milan, a famous economics financial school, and was given an unconditional offer to study my Bachelor's of Science there. But when I left Epsom College, I went to City University London and studied my Bachelor's of Science there, a degree in investment and financial risk management, and graduated with a 2-1. During university, I got the opportunity to go to China for an international internship in Shanghai's famous finance district, Louis Jiaozu, in Pudong, at Lynx Financial, a boutique investment bank, for 2 months. So, along with those worldly highs and all of the high achieving things I just mentioned, I also had my fair share of pre-vocation lows, completing the other end of the spectrum of that period and balancing the cosmic scales, so to speak. So my parents got divorced when I was a very young age, and that was quite a traumatic experience for me. I was a victim of child sexual abuse from a piano teacher growing up. I was in and out of therapy sessions most of my childhood due to always playing up and getting in trouble at school. At 13, I began using intoxicants weekly. Started with alcohol, and weed soon became my drug or medicine of choice because it really did a lot for me and helped me in many ways to cope with and deal with the pain that I was carrying. Sooner enough, I was using weed daily, even during school, and a long and beautiful love affair ensued with her, which after 10 or 15 years of daily use turned incredibly sour and toxic. I was occasionally dabbling in stronger party drugs from around 17 to 21, and I once ended up in hospital for a couple of days with heart pains and an erratic heartbeat after too much cocaine for a period of a few months. Although it needs to be said that the cocaine usage was more of a blip rather than a normal for me. Weed was definitely my thing and my drug medicine of choice. I struggled a lot with my sexuality, conforming to the rugby and sportsman image, but being increasingly attracted to guys. Although I had a few girlfriends, which became super confusing and a bit of a head fuck during that period. I began feeling isolated and ungrounded and playing all types of games with myself and with others, and it was really kind of messed up. So I became a real big bully, a way to express all my pains and frustrations. And I was completely plagued with anxiety, depression, panic attacks, undiagnosed mental health issues. I didn't even have a language for it at the time, but I look back and realize how screwed I was. And yet I had the whole career thing lined up, everything looked perfect from the outside, but I chose to walk away. I knew it wasn't my path. And this was one of the biggest commitments to myself. Knowing that even when I'm ticking all the boxes, even when I have all the praise and congratulation from the group or community, I could still be breaking and crumbling and empty inside. Feeling like there was something more meaningful and purposeful to be working towards, something to be done beyond the surface level, something deep down underground somewhere in the depths of myself, but I didn't know what it was at that time. So that was the landscape before I fully stepped onto the healing path, the highs and the lows, the worldly achievements alongside the shadows I carried quietly within. From the outside, everything looked polished, successful, enviable, but inside I knew I was breaking and collapsing. I knew there was something deeper calling me, a truth beneath the surface that no scholarship, no internship, or achievement could touch. That's where the story shifts. That's where the commitment begins. And in the next video, I'll share what happened when I chose to walk away from the path that was laid out for me and instead step fully into the unknown of my own healing journey. Thank you for watching, and Boyakasha.